Welcome to the world of this beautiful art of live plants, that is bonsai. Now, in this session, we will talk about what bonsai actually is, how to style a plant into a bonsai, how to beautify it over the years, what are some do's and don'ts that we should not follow the rule. Never follow the rule when you are in tropical region like India. Okay, then bonsai as a business, how to convert your hobby into a business that I have done successfully over these years. And after it, I can presume that you all will start at least one bonsai of yours. So what bonsai actually is? We will not go into deep definition. हम कोई definition नहीं यहाँ पढ़ेंगे. हम कुछ bookish knowledge हम यहाँ नहीं gain करेंगे. But I will share my experience of 10 years. bonsai बनाते हुए, bonsai design करते हुए मेरा जो experience है, यहाँ कोई bookish knowledge share नहीं करूँगी मैं केवल मेरा experience आपसे share करूँगी. Plants पे काम करते हुए plants खुद बताते हैं. प्लांट से जब आप बातें करने लगते हैं, जब आप प्लांट्स को समझने लगते हैं, एकदम अपने बच्चे की तरह, अपने फ्रेंड्स की तरह, अपने फैमिली की तरह, जब आप उनसे कम्युनिकेट करना स्टार्ट करते हैं, तब आप एक्चुअली एक अच्छा बोनसाई बना सकते हैं, क्योंकि तब आप प्लांट्स को समझते हैं, आप नेचर को समझने लगते हैं. तो हम इमेजिन करेंगे एक बहुत बड़ा सा बरगद का पेड़ और अ वेरी बिग पीपल ट्री which is very commonly seen in India. Okay, a big banyan tree in the middle of a ground or in villages, it is having so many aerial roots and everything. Now just imagine that big tree in a small pot, and that pot with that big banyan tree is kept in front of you in your garden. That is a bonsai. So basically, जैसे हम स्कूल में थे और हम बड़ी चीजों का एक साइंस मॉडल बनाते थे, सेम चीज हमें करना है प्लांट्स के साथ में. हम एक प्लांट को इस तरीके से डिजाइन करते हैं. वी आर डिजाइनिंग अ प्लांट इन सच अ वे दैट इट इज अ मॉडल ऑफ अ बिग ट्री इन अ स्मॉल पॉट. Now, to understand bonsai, हमें इसकी हिस्ट्री के बारे में थोड़ा जानना होगा कि bonsai एक्चुअली आया कहाँ से. तो हिस्ट्री के हिसाब से जितना भी गूगल पे अवेलेबल है, जितना भी मैंने एक्सपर्ट से बात की, कुछ मास्टर्स से बात की, उस हिसाब से ये आर्ट स्टार्ट हुआ था चाइना में. चाइना में लोग वहां के रॉक्स से, वहां के सीनरीज को देखते हुए पेंजिंग्स क्रिएट करते थे. पेंजिंग्स क्या होते हैं? ट्रेज में लैंडस्केप्स को हम क्रिएट करते हैं और उसमें छोटे छोटे प्लांट्स को, वो लाइव प्लांट्स को सरवाइव करवाते थे. ये बात है लगभग 12th सेंचुरी के आसपास की. एग्जैक्ट मुझे भी उसका ये नहीं पता, लेकिन 12th सेंचुरी के आसपास, 12वीं सदी के आसपास की बात है. तो वहां पेंजिंग्स क्रिएट किए जाते थे. जब जापानीज मॉन्क्स ने चाइना का विजिट किया, तो उन्हें इंटरेस्ट आया उन छोटे प्लांट्स में. वो इस प्लांट के साइंस को अपने साथ लेके गए जापान, और वहां डेवलप किया उन्होंने बोनसाई आर्ट को. इसमें एक काफी मैच्योर प्लांट को, काफी बड़े प्लांट को छोटे से पॉट में इस तरीके से सरवाइव करवाया जाता है कि आप इसे सालों तक जिंदा रख सकते हैं, आप इसे ग्रो करा सकते हैं. और अगर आपने इसकी केयर अच्छे से की, इफ यू हैव टेकन गुड केयर, इफ यू हैव नर्चर्ड इट प्रॉपर्ली, then you can pass this art, this beautiful art of peace to your next generation. तो इसी तरीके की नर्चरिंग करते हुए, केयर करते हुए, वर्ल्ड में अभी भी हजारों साल पुराने बोनसाइज हैं. उसका रूल केवल एक है, आपको इनकी केयर करना है, इन्हें नर्चर करके रखना है, और इन्हें खुद से भी ज्यादा सहेज के रखना है. तो वो कैसे करेंगे हम बाद के सेशंस में देखेंगे. सो ये था कुछ हिस्ट्री। जब इंडिया की बात आती है तो इंडिया में बोनसाइज उस समय शुरू हुआ था जब वामन रूप का जो वर्णन है, विष्णु का जो रूप है वामन रूप, उसका वो जब अस्तित्व में आया था उस समय इसकी इंडिया में शुरुआत हुई थी। तो हमारे ऋषि मुनि इसे वामन वृक्ष कला कहते थे। उस समय इस कला का यूज किया जाता था या इस मेथड का यूज किया जाता था मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स को एक जगह से दूसरे जगह तक लेके जाने में। एक छोटे पॉट में जब हम किसी भी प्लांट को कैरी करते हैं तो उसे उस ड्यूरिंग ट्रांसपोर्ट, उस समय ज्यादा व्हीकल्स नहीं होते थे, कुछ नहीं, तो हम चलते चलते ही उन्हें जंगल पार करना है, नदियां पार करनी है। तो इसीलिए इंडिया में वो काफी प्रचलन में रहा। इसे वामन वृक्ष कला के नाम से जाना जाता है, जिससे हमारे ऋषि मुनि मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स को ट्रांसपोर्ट करने में या उनको सहेजने में यूज करते थे। So this was about bonsai. Now next slide is, हम बोनसाई पे हमने बहुत सारे लोगों ने इस पे काम किया होगा, किसी के पास होंगे भी बोनसाई। लेकिन जब हम किसी एक प्लांट की शुरुआत करते हैं, उसे ढालने के लिए, उसका फ्यूचर देखने के लिए ये बोनसाई कैसे बनेगा, तो हम बड़ी तामझाम के साथ we all gather our tools, we get a plant, we play music, and we plan a weekend, a whole weekend to make a bonsai. लेकिन जैसे ही हम काम करने बैठते हैं, as soon as we get started, everything gets blank. अब इसके आगे क्या करना है? हमने सारी तैयारी कर ली, we have prepared everything, we have the plant, we have the tools, we have time, लेकिन how to start it? तो जिन लोगों के पास काफी अच्छा बोनसाई कलेक्शन है, काफी सारे प्लांट्स हैं, उन्हें ये कंफ्यूजन बहुत ज्यादा रहता है कि हम शुरुआत कहाँ से करें। उसके जब हमारे सेशंस होते हैं, ट्रेनिंग सेशंस होते हैं, वर्कशॉप्स होते हैं, तो उसमें सबसे पहली बात मैं लोगों को बताती हूँ कि जब तक आप नेचर को ऑब्जर्व नहीं करेंगे, जब तक आपको बोनसाई के बेसिक स्टाइल्स के बारे में पता नहीं होगा, तब तक आप एक किसी भी बोनसाई की कटिंग की भी शुरुआत नहीं कर पाएंगे। वो कंफ्यूजन हमेशा दिमाग में रहेगा। ओके, सो इसी कंफ्यूजन को आज हम यहाँ दूर करेंगे। तो आज हम सबसे पहले बात करेंगे स्टाइल्स ऑफ बोनसाई। बोनसाई के क्या क्या स्टाइल्स होते हैं, इनके क्या क्या क्लासिफिकेशन है। तो हम सबसे पहले बात करेंगे साइज के हिसाब से। एक मिनिमम साइज का बोनसाई जो इसका क्लासिफिकेशन किया गया है, वो केशी, शीतो, शिफू, केशी, मामे, इस टाइप से किया गया है। इसका मतलब सबसे छोटा जो 1 इंच का बोनसाई होता है, आप सब यहाँ स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं। राइट नाउ दिस इज द स्मॉलेस्ट बोनसाई आई हैव। ये लगभग 3 इंचेस का प्लांट है। इसका 2 इयर्स एज है और इसे एक रॉक के ऊपर एक्सपोज्ड रूट या फिर रूट ओवर रॉक, इसे स्टाइल किया गया है। अगर आप सभी स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं तो दिस इज द स्मॉलेस्ट बोनसाई राइट नाउ आई हैव। Now again this one. This is called mame bonsai. Mames are the bonsai up to 4 to 6 inches bonsais. उन्हें हम कहते हैं, उस क्लासिफिकेशन को कहते हैं मामे बोनसाई। ना मामे से जस्ट थोड़ा सा बड़ा। अगर आप मिस्टर बानिक, अगर आपको स्क्रीन दिख रही है, बोनसाइज दिख रहे हैं, तो आप प्लीज एक थम्स अप मुझे भेजिए, because I am showing in camera right now. The slide is number 4.
It is, ma'am. It is. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
See, this is called Shohin bonsai, up to 8 inches height. This is almost 7 years old, and the species is jade or dwarf jade, Portillacaria afra. It is a native of Africa, and since the climate in Raipur and central India is is of high temperatures, so ये plant अगर आप बोनसाई स्टार्ट करना चाहते हैं तो ये प्लांट इंडियन क्लाइमेट के लिए बहुत अच्छा है एज बिगिनर। There are some more pieces I have kept over here. Now this one, as you can see, this is 35 years old plant. Its height is 15 inches approx. This plant is 35 years old. The species is Ficus crassifolia. It is a variant of Microcarpa. Ficus microcarpa. So these were a small part of my collection, just to show the students and everyone how bonsais are classified according to size. Okay. अब हम सबके दिमाग में एक एक क्वेश्चन आता है कि बोनसाइज का डिजाइनिंग का स्टार्ट कहाँ से हुआ, बोनसाई का डिजाइनिंग क्यों किया गया। वो तो एक आर्ट के रूप में उसे हमने रिप्रेजेंट किया, लेकिन इसका इंस्पिरेशन कहाँ से मिला। बोनसाई डिजाइन्स, इतने सारे प्लांट्स हैं, इतने सारे डिजाइन्स हैं, इन सब का इंस्पिरेशन मिला नेचर से। बोनसाई मास्टर्स ने, जिन्होंने भी इस कला की शुरुआत की होगी, उन्होंने नेचर से इंस्पायर हुआ, नेचर से इंस्पायर होके ट्रीज को देख के, अलग अलग उनके ग्राउंड्स को देख के, उनके स्ट्रक्चर को देख के एक प्लांट का मॉडल बनाना स्टार्ट किया और बोनसाई आर्ट को यहाँ तक लेके आए। सदियों तक इस आर्ट का प्रचलन पूरी दुनिया में रहा है और आगे भी रहेगा। ओके, तो जब नेचर में ट्रीज पाई जाती हैं तो वो किस तरीके से पाई जाती हैं, ये अब हम यहाँ देखेंगे। सो दिस इज स्लाइड नंबर 4। इसमें आप देख सकते हैं द फर्स्ट स्टाइल इज फॉर्मल अपराइट स्टाइल। जो हिली एरियाज हैं, जो माउंटेन एरियाज हैं, आपने अगर वहाँ यूकेलिप्टस, अपने जो सेंट्रल इंडिया में मिलते हैं यूकेलिप्टस प्लांट्स अगर आपने देखे होंगे, आपने चीड़ देखे होंगे, बिग जूनिपर, स्पाइन्स, अगर इन चारों स्पीशीज को आपने देखा होगा तो इनका स्ट्रक्चर होता है, ये जो फर्स्ट स्टाइल है इसके जैसा, ये देखिए, ट्रंक एकदम स्ट्रेट रहेगा, बाकी सारी ब्रांचेस इसके अराउंड सिमेट्री में, ट्रायंगुलर शेप में या कॉनिकल शेप इन प्लांट्स का रहेगा। जब हम किसी भी बोनसाई को इस स्टाइल में डिजाइन करते हैं देन इट इज कॉल्ड फॉर्मल अपराइट स्टाइल। ओके, अब जब हम माउंटेन से नीचे की तरफ आते हैं, मैदानी एरिया में आते हैं, व्हेन वी कम टुवर्ड्स द ग्राउंड एरिया, तो वहां हवाएं ज्यादा चलती हैं, वहां पे ग्राउंड ऊबड़ खाबड़ होता है, ऊपर नीचे होता है। उस समय टू एडजस्ट विद द ग्रेविटी के इफेक्ट के हिसाब से ट्रंक ट्विस्ट लेती है, ट्रंक में थोड़ा मूवमेंट स्टार्ट होता है। ओके, जब भी हम कहीं ट्रेवल करते हैं ना रेलवे से, तो आप देखिएगा रेलवे ट्रैक्स के दोनों तरफ जो पेड़ होते हैं वो इतने रेलवेज के कंटिन्यू वाइब्रेशंस की वजह से वहां का ग्राउंड हमेशा ऊपर नीचे होता रहता है, वहां इतना पानी रहता है, इतनी तेज हवा होती है। अधिकतर अगर आपको नेचुरली ये पेड़ देखने हैं और इसके इनफॉर्मल अपराइट जो सेकेंड स्टाइल है अपना, अगर इसके आपको एग्जांपल्स देखने हैं तो रेलवेज के ट्रैक्स के दोनों तरफ के पेड़ इसका बहुत अच्छा एग्जांपल है। और अगर नॉर्मली अगर आप किसी ऐसे एरिया में रहते हैं विच इज वेरी नियर टू एनी हिल, सो ऑन द हिल्स, जहाँ पे हिल्स और ग्राउंड आपस में मिल रहे होते हैं, वो जो बीच का रीजन है जो थोड़ा सा स्लैंटिंग होता है, जो न तो मैदान कह सकते हैं न तो हिल कह सकते हैं, ऐसे एरियाज में ग्रेविटी को एडजस्ट करने के लिए अकॉर्डिंग टू ग्रेविटी या फिर किसी एक्सीडेंट की वजह से अगर कोई सडन पार्ट टूट जाता है तो ट्री एक ब्यूटीफुल ट्रंक अपना शेप ले लेता है, उसे हम कहते हैं इनफॉर्मल अपराइट बोनसाई। अब नेक्स्ट जो स्टाइल है ये इंडिया में बहुत ज्यादा पाया जाता है। ट्रॉपिकल प्लांट्स में लगभग फाइकस की लगभग सारी स्पीशीज, आप औदुंबर की बात कीजिए, फाइकस रेस मोसा, या फिर हम रेलिजियोसा की बात करते हैं, रूम्फी की बात करते हैं, इन सब का स्ट्रक्चर काफी डेंस होता है। ये काफी थिक और बड़ी ट्रंक लाइन वाले प्लांट्स होते हैं, ट्रीज होते हैं, और इन्हें हम कहते हैं ब्रूम स्टाइल बोनसाई। ऑन अ फनी नोट, हम ब्रूम लेते हैं, झाड़ू लेते हैं और उसे उल्टा कर दीजिए तो उसके जो रेशे हैं झाड़ू के वो पूरे ऐसा गोल ऊपर हो जाते हैं। दैट इज व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड ब्रूम स्टाइल बोनसाई। ओके, तो ये सब मैं एक्चुअली आपको क्यों बता रही हूँ अभी। ओके, ये चीजें जब आप प्लांट के स्टाइल्स को बार बार देखेंगे, प्लांट के नेम्स को बार बार देखेंगे, गूगल पे हम सर्च करेंगे फॉर्मल अपराइट बोनसाई, उसके जितने भी टाइप, जितने भी इमेजेस आती हैं, आप जब उन्हें ऑब्जर्व करेंगे तब आप एक्चुअली अच्छे से ऑब्जर्व कर सकते हैं नेचर को। हम एक लॉन्ग वॉक पे निकलिए, आप आसपास आपको जितने भी ट्रीज दिखते हैं आप उन सब को ऑब्जर्व कीजिए, वेदर दे आर ग्रोइंग एज फॉर्मल अपराइट, एज इनफॉर्मल अपराइट, थोड़े स्लैंटिंग में है, ठीक है, अगर उनका ट्रंक थोड़ा सा हिला हुआ है, जमीन में अगर कभी ज्यादा फ्लड हो गया, कुछ हो गया, तो उनकी रूट्स एक्सपोज हो जाती हैं और वो थोड़े से स्लैंट हो जाते हैं। तो इस टाइप के जब हम बोनसाई डिजाइन करते हैं तो उसे हम कहते हैं स्लैंटिंग स्टाइल बोनसाई। ओके, जब भी हमने माउंटेन्स का विजिट किया होगा तो माउंटेन्स में जो क्लिफ्स होते हैं, क्लिफ्स में अधिकतर रॉक्स रहेंगे और बहुत कम सॉइल रहेगा। तो वहां जब भी प्लांट्स ग्रो करते हैं, वो ग्रो करते हुए नीचे की तरफ उनका ग्रोथ स्टार्ट होता है। ओके, जहां स्नोई एरियाज होते हैं वहां पे स्नो लगभग 2 से 3 महीने प्लांट के ऊपर कंटिन्यू स्नो रहता है। उस प्रेशर की वजह से, ग्रेविटी की वजह से प्लांट्स नीचे की तरफ ग्रो करना स्टार्ट करते हैं, जस्ट टू बैलेंस, जस्ट टू मेक अ बैलेंस विद द ग्राउंड, क्योंकि उनके पास रॉक्स में ग्रो करना है, उन्हें उन्हें बहुत लिमिटेड सॉइल मिली है और खुद को होल्ड करके रखना है। तो ऐसे में रूट सिस्टम उनका इतना मजबूत नहीं होता कि वो ऊपर की तरफ ग्रो कर सके, इसलिए वो उतनी ही कम रूट्स के सहारे, अपनी कम कम रूट्स लेकिन स्ट्रॉन्ग रूट्स, उन्हें स्ट्रेंथन करते हुए नीचे की तरफ ग्रो करना स्टार्ट करते हैं। एंड इट इज, और जब हम इस तरीके का बोनसाई क्रिएट करते हैं देन इट इज कॉल्ड कैस्केडिंग बोनसाई। ओके, इसका मैं एग्जांपल आपको यहाँ दिखाती हूँ। प्लांट इज ग्रोइंग, प्लांट्स की टेंडेंसी है कि वो सनलाइट की तरफ ग्रो करेंगे, लेकिन ग्रेविटी और
Ma'am, please unmute yourself, ma'am.
now is it okay? Now am I audible?
Just for a while, it was 10 seconds, I think.
Okay. Okay. So this was the example of cascading bonsai. The same happens with semi-cascade, the literati style, the windswept style. It is the most complicated style in bonsais. जब तेज हवाएं चलती है, storms आते हैं, तो सारे plant, सारे trees उस हवा के direction में move करते हैं, उसकी हर branch, हर leaf. So that is called windswept style. Okay, again I'm telling you all these styles of bonsai so that you can relate the natural trees very easily. As soon as you see the tree, suddenly it should click into your mind that this tree is going in this style of bonsai. So हमें क्या करना है, उस बड़े से ट्री को इमेजिन करना है as bonsai. Okay, so now the actual steps to how to start a bonsai begins from here. Okay, so as I told you, first you will have to observe the nature. First you have to observe the habitat around you. If you belong to a coastal area, a coastal region, then you will have to observe the nature of the ground, how the wind is blowing, how the climate is over there, whether what are the temperatures throughout the year, and then the structure of the tree according to the nature, according to climate, according to ground. Now you will have to start observing the trees, whether their trunk are growing in formal upright straight trunks hain, bended trunks hain, how the branches are growing, whether the branches are parallel to the ground or they are inclined at an angle, okay, or the branches are bending towards the ground. There are so many forms of trees. How are the branches twisting, whether these are straight trunks or there are some twist in the trunk or there are twist in the branches. How is the size of leaf? Okay, so to observe the nature, you will have to go on a long drive or you will have to go on a long walk. Okay, so as soon as you start to observe the nature, out of if you have seen 100 trees, if you have observed 100 trees, then you will remember only 2 or 3 styles of it. That's for sure. And as soon as you start working on a plant, then those 2-3 styles will continue strike your memory, and then you can decide the future of a plant as a bonsai in the style which you wanted. Okay, so basically what you will have to do, you will have to observe the nature you will have to observe the nature, you will have to see the structure of trees, its branches, its leaves. Okay, the ground, whether it is a plain ground, it is a hilly area, it is inclined ground, it is a ground with moist soil, it is a ground with black soil, hard ground, dry region, and the climate of your region. All these things you will have to observe, then only you can be a good bonsai designer or you can design a good bonsai. Okay, so before starting any bonsai, you will need few things. Okay, first thing I have told you, you will have to love nature, you will have to close to the nature. Next, a good bonsai material, you will have to take a plant, okay, a small plant that you want to convert into bonsai. आपको एक छोटा प्लांट या एक बड़ा प्लांट जो भी आपके पास है, एक मटेरियल चाहिए होगा जिससे आप बोनसाई में कन्वर्ट करना चाहते हैं. कुछ टूल्स की जरूरत होती है एज अ बिगिनर. मैं केवल इन कुछ ही टूल्स का यूज करती हूँ. दिस इज अ नॉर्मल गार्डन कटर, some scissors. You can use normal scissors also, no problem. A good pincer. This is easily available in any hardware shop. It's a pincer and a small saw. A sharp-edged small saw. Only these 4 things as a tool you will need if you are starting a bonsai, if you are a beginner. Okay, cutters and tools, etc. Then there are 2 types of pots which are used in bonsai. First is training pot and second are basic bonsai pots. They come in ceramic material and all. So these 2 pots you will require to start a bonsai, but as a beginner you will need only big plastic training pots that I will tell you later. Next, some bonsai soil, a few wires, that is also part of our next session, and some pieces of net. Okay, or you can use simple plain stones also just to cover the holes of pot. Okay, so these are basic things that you will require for it. So before moving towards the next session, next topic of ours, how to convert, how to start the training of a plant. Let me check, are there any questions?
Questions will be like later on, last 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just only take the questions. We'll sort it out because so many questions are unnecessary even. So we'll just push, like ask you the best questions out of them.
Okay. I was just checking if there is any good question that I
You
have
just
related
continue
to
with the
topic.
slides. You just continue with the slides. We will just ask the question later
Okay.
at the
Okay.
last.
Okay. So before styling any plant, there are some terminologies which are related to bonsai that you will. It's not necessary to learn, but it will be good. Okay, so we will start with the topmost part. This is a basic structure of a bonsai. Okay, there is a pot, there is soil, and there is a bonsai. This is called a pre-bonsai material. Okay, a plant which is trained into bonsai for few years, and now it is ready to become a bonsai, and within few years it will acquire its shape, and we can say it bonsai. So the structure here is of a pre-bonsai material. Okay, just a stage, the stage just before the finalized bonsai design. So the visible roots in any plant shows its maturity, shows its age, and it's called nebari. Okay, then comes the trunk. Then, as you all are agriculture students, so I don't think that I will have to explain it very much, but the branches which start directly from the trunk are called primary branches. Then comes the secondary branches, tertiary branches, twigs, leaves, fruits, and flowers. Then the um, whole structure from where the leaf starts, it's called the crown of a bonsai. Just above the trunk, from where the structure, the primary branches, the leaf starts, is called the crown of a bonsai. The top part is called the apex. Okay, it is very important to note that the as you can see in this basic structure, the base is very thick and it's gradually decreasing when we move towards when we move upwards. When we move towards apex, the trunk is gradually decreasing. The thickness of the trunk is gradually decreasing. It is called tapering. The gradual decrease in thickness of trunk from base to apex is called tapering. It plays very important role in aesthetics, in beautification of bonsai. Okay, then you can see ramification. There is a term written over here, it's ramification. Ramification means multiplication of branches. Okay, now how to imagine this? Whenever we start a plant, okay, whenever you have seen the growth of various plants, all of you are agriculture related to agriculture, so we all have seen. So initially, I am explaining it by hand. Initially, it is a small branch with one leaf or two leaves. Okay. Then in bonsai, we cut this branch. Okay. By trimming this branch, all the nodes will get activated and we will have many branches. Many branches will start to grow from that cut. Okay. Then again, we will cut the smaller branches. Again, it will grow into even smaller branches. Okay. So in that limited space, we have created a mesh of branches. First, it was a single branch. Then we divided into secondary branches, two secondary branches. Then the two secondary branches divided into even smaller branches, tertiary branches. And then again. So it is a whole mesh, it is a whole structure of a branch. So instead of having one branch, we have created a mesh of many branches, many smaller branches at every level. It is called ramification, multiplication of branches. So whenever you you start about bonsai, to start a bonsai, how to select a plant whenever you want to start a bonsai. Okay, it's a very big topic that we cannot cover here in 1 hour, in 60 minutes. It's very difficult. But I will tell you in a brief that there are two methods to start a bonsai, to start a plant. As we all know, first is from seed. Okay, we can select a species, whatever species we want, whether orange, apple, we want a ficus, we want a banyan tree, whatever we want. We can start with a seedling. Okay, or second, we can take, we can bring a big nursery stock, a mature plant at our home to begin with the bonsai, to start training of that plant. Okay, so as you can compare here, that seedling will take too much time to become a plant, to become a mature plant, then to start its training, then it will take a very long time. But if you are directly purchasing, or if you are directly taking a mature plant as a bonsai material, then it reduces the time period over 10 to 12 years, and you can make a bonsai within 3 to 4 years. It is a very small period for a bonsai, but yes, you can start a bonsai, a nice bonsai, within 2 or 3 years. Okay, and it will become a proper bonsai within 5 to 6 years. A pre-bonsai stock in 4 to 5 years. Okay, just like I always teach to my students that you will have to see these two things as a mother and a teacher. आप बोनसाई स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं एक मदर के जैसे और एक नर्सरी स्टॉक के जैसे. जब आपको एक सीडलिंग दिया जाता है तो वो एकदम कोमल है, वो छोटा सा है, आप उसे किसी भी स्टाइल में कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं. द स्टाइल यू वांट, यू कैन कन्वर्ट अ सीडलिंग because it's tender, it's very small, it is easy to bend, it has no shape, nothing. So you can decide a style and you can make the seedling a bonsai of your choice. Okay, just as a mother. But when you are a teacher, the grown kids come to you just like a nursery stock or a big plant. Okay, they all children have their own character. You just have to ramify the character, you just have to polish them. So as a teacher, आपके पास already जो बच्चे स्कूल में आए हुए हैं उनका अपना कैरेक्टर है, उनके अपने इंटरेस्ट हैं. उस इंटरेस्ट के हिसाब से आप उनकी प्रतिभा को निखारते हैं, आप उनमें अच्छी चीजें देखते हैं, आप उनको नई चीजें सिखाते हैं. So that thing we can compare with nursery stock. Okay, so nursery stock, if you are taking a ready material, a mature material, then you will be a teacher. But if you are starting anything with a seed or very small sapling, then you will have to treat it like a mother. Okay, so I have made a sketch here that after training a good bonsai material which is already purchased from a nursery stock, or a very mature material you already have, you have digged it out from the ground, or you have taken from somewhere, anywhere. It's not only about purchasing a stock, but you got the stock from anywhere. So how to train it? ओके, सो आज हम यहाँ पे मेन इसी चीज को डिस्कस करेंगे कि एक नर्सरी स्टॉक को हम कैसे कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं जल्दी से जल्दी एक अच्छे बोनसाई में. बिकॉज हियर द एंड टॉपिक इज हाउ टू कन्वर्ट हॉबी इनटू बिजनेस. इफ यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट बिजनेस, then you will have to maintain a good stock, you will have to maintain a quantity of stock so that you will be able to supply it whenever, in whatever quantity required. Okay, so this is why we are discussing this instead of starting with a seedling. That is a separate topic in our sessions when we take bonsai training courses online and offline as well. So here we will discuss when you have already purchased or you already have a big material, how to convert it. So here are some styles which can be converted easily in minimum period of time, unless, but what things are required for it? you take good care, you design them well. So if you are starting with slanting bonsai or formal or literati style or twisted trunk style, these three styles, as if you have observed in the slides when I was telling you about styles, these have very less leaves, a small canopy, and a small canopy can be developed very soon. Okay. Now, the most complicated styles will be broom style, formal upright, or informal upright style, just like you can see behind me. It is an informal upright style bonsai. There are twists in the trunk. It has a big canopy and a number of branches. So to take a plant into this stage, it takes 4 to 5 years minimum. Now, what species? Okay, we will talk about species. How to start a bonsai? We got a plant, but which plant? Okay, so I will suggest you as a beginner, go with the native species you are seeing around you. आप उस species से start करेंगे जो आपके आसपास प्राकृतिक रूप से नेचुरली जो आपके आसपास ग्रो हो रही है. जैसे अगर हम इंडिया की बात करें तो बैनियन, पीपल, या हम फाइकस रेस मोसा जिसे डूमर या औदुंबर कहते हैं. All these species are very good to start with because they are already habitual to the climate of your region. We can start with tamarind also. वो भी काफी ज्यादा पाई जाती है इंडिया में. We can start with आंवला also. But according to me, as per my experience, पहले हम evergreen species से start करेंगे. It's always good to start with evergreen species, then to move on floral species, and then fruit species, the fruiting plants. Okay, so if we move towards evergreen species, then you can start with, I told you some ficuses, which is microgarca, which is easily available in any nursery. And then we can start with the ficus bengalensis, that is banyan tree. We can start with peepal tree. If you are native of West Bengal in this region, then pakur or bodhi people, it is very easily available everywhere. You can start with that also. Or I have started with ficus panda, which is used as avenue tree or as ornamental plants in gardens, and jade plant. Jade, this is dwarf jade, which is very, very easily available. This dwarf jade, which is very easily available. Its propagation is very easy. It's very easy to maintain. It requires less care, and it is a best option for lazy people, for lazy gardeners who wants a bonsai, but they don't want to take care of it. They don't have enough time to take care. Then this is a very good species for them. Okay, but I must tell you, there are 3 varieties of jade which is commonly available in all the nurseries nowadays. One is having this heart leaf. Okay, so always select the species which is having this small leaves, heart-shaped leaves. Some are selling jades of oblong, थोड़ी लंबी पत्तियां होती हैं, कुछ की बड़ी और लंबी पत्तियां होती हैं. Please don't buy those species because they are very delicate. So I will suggest to go with the species of jade, which is having small heart-shaped leaves. Okay, it is native of Africa, so it is already used to high temperatures. It can tolerate, it can survive up to 15 days without watering. Okay, it is an evergreen plant, always bushy plant. Very rarely it gets infected. Very rarely. Only one thing you will have to take care about, don't over nurture it. हमें इसे ज्यादा केयर नहीं करना है इस प्लांट का, और इसे कम सनलाइट में नहीं रखना. ओनली 2 things you will have to remember always. You should remember always while taking jade as a first bonsai. That first thing, full requirement of full sunlight is essential for it, and second thing is less watering is required, less fertilization is required. So this is a very good species to start with. Second is ficus tiger bark. Among all the ficus species available, I have selected 2 species. First is crassifolia. Second is ficus tiger bark, which is very easily, these are very easy to maintain and easy to design. Okay, how to identify it? As per its name, it's ficus tiger bark. So its stem or its bark will have small spots like tiger, small white lines like just like tiger has. That is why it is called ficus tiger bark. Again, the leaf size will be small. It will have a thick leaf. The leaf size will be small, and it will have a shiny bark. It will not have brown bark or black bark. It will have a shiny white bark. So whenever you want to start a bonsai, you can go with jade or ficus tiger bark. Banyan people are most commonly used in India. Then if we will move towards flower bonsai, then you can use bougainvillea. You can start with bougainvilleas. You can start with Barbados cherry. Then mango is there. Avla is there. Next, what I have, oranges we have. I have Thailand orange, lemon bonsai. All are very easy as you start. If you have already started, you have already worked on bonsais for 2-3 years, then you can move towards flower bonsais and fruit bonsais as well. Okay, but in starting, I would suggest that start with evergreen plants that are very hard to kill. ऐसे प्लांट से आप स्टार्ट कीजिए जिनको मारना या जिनका मरना थोड़ा मुश्किल होता है. ये आपको डिमोटिवेट नहीं करेगा, आपका टाइम, आपका पैसा सब कुछ कंज्यूम करेगा. ओके, नेक्स्ट. जब हम एक नर्सरी स्टॉक, whenever we purchase a stock, a nursery stock, then we have observed, till now we have observed the nature very nicely. Okay, and now we can see the plant as a bonsai. आप प्लांट को देख के आपको समझ में आना चाहिए कि 5 से 6 साल के बाद में इस प्लांट को मैं किस स्टाइल में देखना चाहता हूँ, बोनसाई के किस स्टाइल में कन्वर्ट करना चाहता हूँ. Okay, so I have purchased this plant, and if I want to convert it into formal upright style, then what I will do, I will choose the first 2 primary branches. Okay, and then I will cut the plant in inclined cut. There will always be an inclined cut while designing bonsai in every step. कभी भी cross section 90 degrees पे cut नहीं होगा. It has to be in incline. Okay, it has to be less than or greater than 90 degrees, never 90 degrees. So I will select the base structure. So आपने यहाँ देखा है कि ये प्लांट एक नर्सरी बैग में है. मैंने यहाँ ये भी मेंशन किया है. ये प्लांट, this plant is growing in a nursery bag. Okay, it's a big bag. Then these yellow marks defines the cuts. इस प्लांट को मैं किस जगह से कट कर रही हूँ, इन सारी मैंने ब्रांचेस को कट किया. स्पेशली द ब्रांचेस जो एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी ग्रो हो रहे हैं, यू हैव टू कट देम थ्रू आउट द जर्नी ऑफ बोनसाई. Okay, so after hard pruning, which must be done only in monsoon, whenever you want to hard prune a bonsai, hard pruning means वहां कोई भी लीफ नहीं रहेगी. जब प्लांट में कोई भी लीफ नहीं रहेगी, आपको इतना हार्ड प्रून करना है. सो प्लीज नोट दिस डाउन. ऑलवेज स्टार्ट इन मॉनसून, इन फर्स्ट वीक ऑफ मॉनसून. व्हेनेवर इट कम्स इन योर रीजन, स्टार्ट ओनली इन मॉनसून. सो फॉर फर्स्ट 1 week after hard pruning, you will see the small growth, a very tiny growth on every edge. Okay, and after few years, the image number 3, after few years, you can see your base structure has grown, a base plant has grown into a beautiful formal upright bonsai. Okay. Now, if this informal upright bonsai will take a lot of time, so we will jump on next slide. Okay, so till now we have seen the selection of species, what tools we should take, how to select a material. Whenever you go to, I must share this, whenever you go to a nursery to buy a plant, or already if you have any plant at your home that you have decided to convert into bonsai, so there are few rules, there are few things you must remember. First is the plant must be healthy plant. Healthy plant means सारी leaves green होना चाहिए. अगर light blue अगर yellow leaves या brown leaves हैं तो उस plant को healthy होने तक wait करना होगा. अगर plant healthy नहीं है उससे हम as a bonsai start नहीं करेंगे. Okay. Next thing is there should be no rotting in roots. आपको roots उसके check करने होंगे. root में कहीं भी rot नहीं होना चाहिए, कहीं भी wood में कोई insect नहीं होना चाहिए, कहीं infected नहीं होना चाहिए उसका trunk, या कहीं भी कोई pest का attack नहीं होना चाहिए उस plant पे. So आप जो भी plant choose कर रहे हैं, it should be healthy plant. Okay, we have talked about the basic bonsai tools which you will require. Once you become a bonsai master, then there are few more tools you will need. Okay, there are some scissors. These are good scissors. Okay, इस type के scissors मिलते हैं. These are all of metal. ये कुछ scissors की आपको जरूरत पड़ेगी. When the plants grow, जब उनका foliage इतना thick हो जाता है कि plants में हम अगर उनकी ब्रांचेस को डिस्टर्ब किए बिना अगर अंदर इंटरनल जो ग्रोथ है उसे हमें कट करना है, उस टाइम पे इस सारे शेयर्स का यूज होता है. केवल लीव्स को कट करना है उसके लिए इस टाइप के टूल का हम यूज करते हैं. इफ यू हैव टू कट ओनली लीव्स. So after becoming a master you will need all these things, but till now only 3 to 4 basic gardening tools will be sufficient. Okay, so we have discussed about structural pruning, how to get the base structure. We have discussed about history, what is bonsai, what species are suitable for it, how to select a plant from nursery. Okay, now what is the next step after hard pruning? Hard pruning के बाद जब हमने ऊपर का बेस स्ट्रक्चर क्लियर कर लिया, okay, you will have to leave the plant as it is for 1 year at least. The process कहाँ से start हुआ था? Process had started. You have bought a plant or you got the plant. In monsoon's first week, you decided the base structure or base design of the plant. Third thing, 1 साल तक leave the plant as it is. Okay, then the next year it will come the हमने अभी ground के ऊपर वाले part पे काम किया है. Now we will work on roots. Okay, so जब फरवरी का एंड होता है, जब वसंत ऋतु स्टार्ट होती है, उस समय हम रूट्स पे काम कर सकते हैं इफ द क्लाइमेट इज नॉट टू हॉट इन मार्च एंड अप्रैल इन योर रीजन. Okay, only in that case, if we talk about Hyderabad, if we talk about the coastal areas, the humidity levels in March is very high in those areas in February end. So the humidity, if the humidity is very good, then you can work on roots in February. Okay, I will never suggest in March or April, but in February you can start the work on roots. So what you will have to do, you will have to remove the whole soil of that nursery stock. First step. Second step, remove all the tap roots, all the big roots, all the lateral roots. Only keep the feeder roots. Feeder roots, as we all know, are the thinnest, the hairline roots, which provides food or which absorbs nutrients and water from the soil. हमें केवल उन रूट्स का काम है, बाकी सारी रूट्स को एकदम रिमूव कर देना है. ओके, और उस जो प्लांट है उसमें थोड़ा सा मदर सॉइल रहने देना है. ओके, तो मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल दिखाती हूँ यहाँ कि suppose this is a nursery stock. Okay, this is already for bonsai, but I will remove it. So if I am removing this, then there should be at least 15 centimeter or 10 centimeter of mother soil left. Okay, jitni bhi, this is about the first training of base structure create करने के बाद you are starting the first root training. तो जैसे हम कहते हैं ना कि whenever a child takes birth, for few days the placenta is not completely removed, है ना, because the child when the child was in womb, it was used to the placenta, it was taking food and everything from mother's placenta. Okay, so the same thing we have to apply in bonsai also. So always keep a little amount of undamaged roots with their mother soil, because the plant has grown in that soil, the plant is used to that soil. So by this way, we are giving a shock to plant. Okay, we are removing all the whole soil, we are removing all the roots, so we are giving a shock to plant. So to recover, हमें चाहिए कि वो plant जल्दी recover हो उस shock से, इसलिए always keep throughout the journey of bonsai, always keep a small root ball with their mother soil. Always do not completely remove the soil. Okay. Okay. So after 2 or 3 years, you have done the root training, आपने इसे bonsai training pot में shift करेंगे. Base structure हमने clear किया, उसके 6 to 7 months बाद में, और after 1 year we will work on the roots. We will remove all the roots, all the thick roots, but we will keep mother soil and small root ball to make sure that the plant recovers soon. And we will shift the plant into a training pot. So what are training pots? Training pots are basically big size pots with a lot of pot holes in it. As we all know that more the feeding, the growth will be more. So for first few years, we will have to shift the plant into a training pot only. So we will shift the plant into training pot, and after 2 or 3, again we will leave the plant for 1 or 2 years. After 1 or 2 years, you will see a vigorous growth. The leaves and branches, the plant will be full of leaves and branches and everything. And the root, the feeder, there will be a big mesh of roots, of feeder roots. Okay, then comes the next stage. Okay, so recently we talked about bonsai training pot. So bonsai soil requires some extra ingredients other than a normal black soil or red soil. We have to mix a portion of sand, a portion of cocoa, a portion of vermicompost, and few other things, some bricks pieces, some rocks, some pieces of rock, some extra nutrients, some chemicals, some meals, bone meal or mustard meal or anything. Why? Because we have limited the area, we have a limited area for plant to grow. So the soil should have good water drainage. The bonsai soil, the training soil must have a good water drainage. Okay, कहीं भी water का blocking नहीं होना चाहिए, कहीं भी water रुक के नहीं रहना चाहिए, because फीडर रूट्स का हमें मैश बनाना है. फीडर रूट्स आर वेरी डेलिकेट. अगर कहीं बहुत दिनों तक वाटर रह जाता है, अगर सॉइल बहुत ज्यादा मॉइस्ट है, अगर हमने सॉइल अच्छे से नहीं बनाई है, then the roots will start rotting. Okay, and it will affect the health, it will affect the growth of the plant. So the water the soil should be in such way that it cannot it can let go the extra water. Okay, now at the contradiction हम इसकी बात करते हैं कि हमने वाटर दिया प्लांट को, सॉइल से पूरा एक्स्ट्रा वाटर चला गया, लेकिन सॉइल को तुरंत ड्राई नहीं होना है. सॉइल हम यूजुअली वी वाटर द प्लांट, वी वाटर आवर प्लांट्स इन द मॉर्निंग. ओके, एंड आफ्टर दैट, थैंक यू आदित्य, जस्ट गिव मी अ ग्लास ऑफ वाटर. आदित्य, excuse me, I will take a break, water break. Sorry for the break. Okay. See, I know there are so many topics. It's a very, very vast subject, and as I told you, it's not possible for me to describe each and everything about bonsais, but really I am trying to brief everything. So there is this is very important topic about bonsai soil. I was talking about we water the plants in morning times. After that, the plant have to face the heat, the sunlight. Okay, so the soil should be composite in such a way that it must remove the extra water, but the soil should retain the water in such a way that it can provide sufficient water throughout the day. It should not dry out suddenly. Okay, then it should provide good aeration, so that that is why we use sand, so that the feeder roots can grow very nicely. They can lengthen themselves. It should be nutritious, because again we have limited the feeding of the plant, so we have to make sure that the plant is getting sufficient nutrition. Now, as we have discussed here, with proper fertilization, with little pruning and no defoliation, you can convert a small plant like this within 3 to 4 years in a plant, in a bonsai like this. As you can see, the first year will be the development of primary branches and base structure. The second year will be development of secondary branches. Again, you will trim it. Then the third year will be development of tertiary branches, and as you go on year by year, the level of branches, the density of branches will go on increasing. More the ramification, the beautification of the bonsai will be more. Now, what is pruning? As we all know, it's just cutting out the undesired or unwanted branches. Okay, so always keep in mind that at which stage you have started the bonsai, what is the future of your plant as a bonsai, what style do you need. Okay, now वो picture दिमाग में रखते हुए remove all the other branches. आपके स्टाइल से बाहर जो भी ब्रांच आ रही है, उन सारी ब्रांचेस को आपको रिमूव करना है, वो कितनी भी थिक क्यों ना हो. वो कितनी भी स्मॉल क्यों ना हो, वो कितनी भी खूबसूरत क्यों ना हो, उसमें कितनी ही छोटी ब्रांचेस, सेकेंडरी ब्रांचेस, कितना भी उसका डेवलपमेंट ना हुआ हो, always keep the branches according to style of your bonsai. Remove all the extra branches, especially the branches which grows near the nebari or at the bottom of the trunk. These are called sucker branches. Sometimes to beautify the nebari, to thicken the trunk, we use sucker branches as sacrifice branches. Okay, but that too, we cut it after few years, when the desired shape is taken by the plant. Now, after you have we have bought a plant, we have created the base structure, and within 3-4 years, now the branches, we have sufficient branches, sufficient secondary and tertiary branches to design further. The next step is, and the most beautiful part, the most exciting part about bonsai is its wiring. Why wiring is done? To beautify the branch, to shape the branches, just like we have bones to give support to muscles. The same thing is done by wires to give support to the branches so that it can acquire its desired shape. It can get mold to the shape according to our design. Okay, so this is a small transformation of a ficus tiger bark, which is before wiring and after wiring. Is slide 23 visible to everyone? Slide 23, ficus tiger bark transformation after wiring.
Yes, ma'am. It's visual.
Okay, thank you. So this is a basic wiring session we have done on this ficus. It was almost 3 feet tall, and it was about 7 inches to 8 inches thick. So as you can see, the beautification of a bonsai is very nicely done if you have wired it properly. So for bonsai, after you start a bonsai, after 2 to 3 years, you will require a set of wires. Okay, I use these aluminium wires. These are cotton coated aluminium wires. Okay, some are thick for thick branches, for strong branches. Some are thin wires for smaller branches. Okay, so how to select wire for a particular branch? So when we talk about a support system, then the support should be more stronger than the actual item or actual branch on which we have to provide the support. So first, check the flexibility of the branch. If the branch is flexible enough so that we can convert its shape, or we can bend it a little, only in that case you have to wire. We will wire the branches which are flexible enough to get mold. Now check the flexibility of the wire. Check the flexibility of the branch. The flexibility of the branch should be less than the flexibility of wire. Wire should provide enough strength, so you will have to select a stronger wire than the branch. ओके बहुत छोटी ब्रांचेस के लिए हम मोटा वायर चूज नहीं करेंगे, बस इतना ही स्ट्रॉन्ग वायर हमें चूज करना है so that it can hold the branch, it can support the branch. If the branches are very thick, again I will give you one example. As you can see this jade, this was approximately 2.5 feet tall. It was a long plant. It was growing like this in a straight way, but I decided to bend it like this. Okay, I decided to bend it. So since it's jade, it's very flexible. Even a thick jade can be easily bended. Okay, so I have used this wire. Okay, and I have used double wire process here because I was afraid that the branch or the trunk get broke. So I have used double wire. One wire is removed. So I wired it twice. I used the double wire method and then I started bending it. Okay. So choose a wire very wisely. For very small wires, you can use very thin wires. You can use these copper wires. For very thin branches, you can use these copper wires. Now, how to wire a bonsai? I will give you a quick demo on it. Use a good wire cutter. Use a good wire cutter. Okay. Then for branches, if two branches, as you can see on the slide, there is one secondary branch and then tertiary branches are developing from it. Okay. And both will create this V shape. Okay. So how to wire the branch when they are in V shape? So take a piece of wire, okay, and take its approximate length. Make an angle like this and start wiring at 45 degrees. Like this, okay. The knot, जैसे हम कहते हैं कि जब घर की नींव मजबूत होती है तभी घर मजबूत होता है. So if you want while wiring, if you want the branch should not broke, then you will have to make sure that the starting point of the wiring is strong enough that so that it can give good support to the branch or to the further wiring. Okay, this is how you wire a branch when it is in V shape. This method is used for especially secondary and tertiary branches. Now there should be there must be spacing between uniform spacing between all the wires, all the branches. The wires should not overlap each other. In whole process of bonsai designing, you will have to wire some branches. Then after 4 to 5 months, when the branches gets its structure, then you will have to unwire it. Unwiring is also equivalently important process. Okay, it can break some branches, it can damage some branches, so we will have to be very careful while wiring also and while unwiring also. And throughout the journey of bonsai, for how जितने भी साल वो रहते हैं, आपको हमेशा वायरिंग और अनवायरिंग करते रहना पड़ेगा to make sure that the plant is in its shape. Okay, as we were talking about pots, the bonsai pot represent the ground on which the soil on which the plant is growing naturally. Okay, that is why most of the times they are in a dull color or matte color so that they can highlight the tree and not the ground. This black, this you can see, this is a plastic pot, plastic training pot. Okay, it has sufficient holes in it. Its height is approximately 8 inches. Okay, and it is 21 inches in diameter. Okay, so training pots should always be big. Always they should be big so that they can provide enough room for roots to grow, and as much as area you will provide the bonsai to grow in their training, in its training period, more effectively and जल्दी ही वो plant एक bonsai में convert होगा. Now after training of 3 to 4 years, now the plant will be ready if it's gaining its shape. its style, then the plant is ready to get shifted into bonsai or pot or ceramic pot with limited soil. Okay, so this comes after 4 to 5 years. So the key to design a bonsai is to be patient, perseverance, and lots of passion about bonsai, the passion about nature, to observe the nature, to see the nature. Only these 3-4 things you will require in throughout the journey of any bonsai. Okay, so after a few years, you will observe that the leaf size is reduced. Okay, then only you can say that it has become a proper bonsai. It has become a proper bonsai. In throughout the journey, you will have to defoliate it. You will have to prune it, just like we do a haircut. You will have to remove the extra branches, the extra leaves, everything. Fertilization plays very important role because the feeding we are providing is very less. So fertilization is very important. Soil mix is very important. You will have to take care of all these things throughout the journey. Okay. Now this was the basic, a very brief introduction about bonsai, how to style it, how to maintain it for years and years. Now we will talk, if we talk about Bonsai Heart, so we have become India's first online platform, which is fully dedicated to bonsais only. Okay, our target is to create awareness about bonsais among in India, to provide authentic bonsais to India and budget-friendly bonsais. The bonsai designers or the bonsais which are available on online platforms and here locally in nurseries are at very high cost. So everyone cannot afford it. Okay, it is very difficult for everyone to spend thousands of rupees in on plants. So we have introduced budget-friendly bonsais for those who are willing to have bonsais but have financial restrictions. So everyone can now beautify their balconies, because nowadays in metro cities there we have very sufficient, we have very small space for balconies. For some are balconies, porches, or some have only the railings in their bedrooms. They don't even have balconies. So in that case, if you want to bring some bonsais in your garden, then small bonsai plants are very good option for it. Okay, the limited space is no more a restriction for a plant lover. We have sold, or we have delivered almost hundreds of bonsais across India. We have shifted successfully undamaged bonsais up to Andaman and Nicobar, also Sikkim and Bhuj and Himachal and Jammu Kashmir, everywhere in India. Okay, so this was a brief about Bonsai Heart, and right now we are taking training sessions. We are organizing workshops and some online and offline sessions also to create more and more awareness about bonsais. First motive was to create awareness about bonsais because there are many myths, काफी अंधविश्वास इंडिया में फैले हुए हैं for bonsais. It is an art. It is art performed on live plants. So when I was a beginner, I used to hear from a lot of people that these are unauspicious plants. We should not keep here. We should not keep in our houses. And everything you will, a myth or a negative thing you will hear about bonsai in your journey of bonsais are completely fake, are completely false. So believe in yourself. Okay, take bonsai as art. Okay, apply some. It's a science where methods or techniques are used to keep a plant alive in a small pot. Okay, you will have to use your mathematical skills to keep the plant in symmetry, whether it's spherical in shape, whether it is a 1/3 law or everything. Okay, so bonsai actually provides happiness to everyone. Okay, and how? See, this is the transformation we have done on a simple ficus plant. We have trained it for almost 6 to 7 years. Then this is the transformation done on a ficus plant. Next is, this is jade, a very common plant which is जब आप नर्सरी से कोई भी स्टॉक लेके आते हैं, कहीं भी देखते हैं, तो आपको ये जो फर्स्ट इमेज है, जो स्मॉल इमेज है, वैसे प्लांट देखने मिलते हैं. लेकिन how can we convert it into a beautiful bonsai? Here is the method. Third, again this ficus, you can see the transformation. This is almost 4.5 feet tall plant with a lot of aerial roots. This is Bodhi people. The jade of cascading style, which I have told you, which I have shown you. ये सारी इमेजेस देखते ही आपको दिमाग में बोनसाई के अलग अलग स्टाइल्स आने चाहिए. दिस इज इनफॉर्मल अपराइट, दिस इज ड्यूअल ट्रंक और anything. Now the most shocking transformation will be this. Okay, the slide is showing the before image. It was taken 6 months back, and now the product is in front of you. Okay, so how to do pruning? I will give you a quick demo on that, how to do pruning. As you can see, I have decided a spherical canopy for this. Okay, it's time for demo. Let's end the slideshow. Okay, how to prune a bonsai. Throughout the journey, जब तक bonsai आपके पास है, आपको इस तरीके से उसका pruning करना है. Okay, मैंने डिसाइड किया, I have decided to give it a hemispherical shape. Okay, so which branch you think is going outside? This one. Prune it. Again, there is some more extra growth. Prune it. Prune it. Prune it. Okay. Keep the scissor. Hold the scissor like this. Start from the apex. And trim it. Always keep the plants at eye level. Always keep the plant on eye level. This pruning must be done throughout the year. This small pruning, it must be done throughout the year. You can use a small scissor for that. And this is how a pruning must be done. The branches, the leaves that are growing downwards, we can cut it. Okay. So it was a briefing of this bonsai art. This was a brief about my startup Bonsai Heart. Now I would like to take questions from you all.